many revelations about my participation in the Project One Challenge. From learning the big why, or to learning how pollution affects all facets of the environment, from carcinogens in our soil, too much carbon dioxide in our atmosphere, or plastic in our life-sustaining oceans. I discovered that it all boils down to two main themes. One, that everything is interconnected, and two, that convenience is a cause. Last year, I was tasked with the project of creating a mock TED Talk for my English class, and influential in my decision to focus on plastic pollution was my trip to Bali, Indonesia, my mother's homeland, my second home, and sadly, the place where I was able to firsthand witness the scale and damage of plastic pollution. Returning to the famed and heavily touristed Kuta Beach after 6 years was not the experience I eagerly expected. The beach was almost unrecognizable. It was covered in ubiquitous slivers of plastic, discarded pieces of wood, and plastic bottles just lining the tide. And seeing one of my favorite places just completely decimated in a matter of mere years due to human actions it broke my heart, and it was a call to action. With research I did for my TED Talk, I was alarmed to see how plastic pollution affected the planet as a whole, not just the marine ecosystem. This idea of interconnectedness was reinforced in my 30 days of Project Green Challenge, where I learned that one's individual actions can have a huge impact on the environment and not necessarily a good one. And not necessarily a good one. I didn't know that the plastic utensil I grabbed from my school cafeteria, which I actually flew it over with me, travel 8,504 miles and wash up on the beaches of Indonesia. But I learned that there's a cycle of convenience that drives this mindless disposal and mindless waste. That contributes to the degradation of ecosystems, of vital ecosystems surrounding us, and the complete eradication of species off the face of the earth. All this irreversible damage due to human actions, human-induced climate change, and human pollution. It's very convenient to use single-use plastics, and even more convenient to dispose of them. It's convenient to live in ignorance, much like how that saying goes, ignorance is bliss. But if bliss is ignoring the social injustice faced by racial minorities who are forced to build communities on foundations of landfills, and if bliss is waiting to stop my plastic consumption until me and my children and my grandchildren and future generations are forced to swim in oceans of plastic, then quite simply, I don't want it. It's not convenient to continue my shopping habits when girls my age are inconvenienced and toil hours of abuse in sweatshops in Bangladesh, and it's not convenient to the millions of species that face coerced relocation and complete devastation of habitat and home so I can eat a Nutella sandwich. A lot of this is out of sight and out of mind, but I believe that there's a lot of work I can do in my community to bridge these gaps so we can see these systems with full transparency. I firsthand witnessed the impact of the individual, and both in context are good and bad, because the average school student, an individual, consumes an average of 0.4 pounds of plastic every day. Multiplied by the 120 days in a school year, that equates to 67 pounds of plastic waste generated per student. Well, wait, 67, it's up there. And then multiplied by the minimum of 3,000 students that attend my school, that's 201,000 pounds of plastic that is produced 1 year. So in the 17 years Los Osos High School has been open, that means 3,417,000 pounds of plastic has been produced solely by my school. That's enough plastic waste to fill up an Olympic-sized swimming pool and enough plastic waste to fill up 1,216 trucks full of toxic plastic waste. The problem is clear, and the need for a solution even more so. The impact of the individual is the force of positive good, which is why I'm striving to initiate my climate action projects on campus, in the mindset of thinking globally and acting locally. My climate action plan focuses on eliminating single-use plastics in my school lunches, and replacing them with either compostable, biodegradable, and sustainable alternatives, or if better, reusables. With reusables. So first, of course, I would start with school lunches and find companies that offer prices that match or beat the price point of our current lunch supplies. Then I will work with my food services director and along with my motivated team to calculate the long-term logistics to show that the long-term benefits of the switch to sustainables is better, both economically and environmentally. Even better, my school already produces and cooks food on site, meaning that a switch to reusables is viable, if not an easy switch. And if compostables and biodegradables are the way to go, then I will implement a compost collection system that utilizes cleanly marked and designated bins and center the compost in the school garden that my school already has. By compiling all research and data, doing the necessary research, as well as spreading awareness and basically support throughout my community for this campaign, I can pitch a powerful and passionate pitch to the school board that makes the switch to sustainable a convenient decision. The next step is to spread awareness on campus. There's a wall at my school that's called the prison wall because it looks like a prison wall, but thousands of students walk past it daily, making it the perfect opportunity to teach a message that spreads Project Green Challenge themes by painting a powerful mural. And everyone on campus can be engaged in this process, as everyone and anyone can be involved in the art process, especially when upcycled plastic pieces will be used as one of the art mediums to further the impact of the mural. The long-term implications of this project will be enormous, because the switch to sustainable will continue to persist in the future of my school, meaning that in the next 20 years, 3,500,000 pounds of plastic won't trickle into systems and intrude into cycles of life. Even more so, I plan to spread the project to other schools in my district, furthering the impact and drastically reducing the repercussions our actions have on places spanning the world. The mural will act as a daily reminder to inspire action, as thousands upon thousands of future students gaze upon the visuals, ensuring that convenience does not dictate the consequences of our future. Because I believe that the individual has the power to initiate changes that are needed and that are pivotal, and that our collective voices can be used to sway and influence one's choices. Because I know that the youth are the next movement and the next advocates for justice and truth, and that proper reactions to knowledge and awareness can be used to reverse inactions. Because sustainable is attainable, and plastic pollution can be combated with this project as a solution.